Welcome to Augmented Voices, the deep dive where we explore how generative AI is completely revolutionizing business,
Yeah,
especially when we look at financial services tech and, of course, the UK's vibrant SME landscape.
absolutely.
And today we are diving into some big news coming out from Microsoft
Okay.
about their unified data platform, Fabric.
Uh-huh.
And they are doing a lot more with AI. So think of this as your personal debrief, no matter your background, on how all this is going to change the way you approach data.
Exactly. And the announcements that came out of FabCon 2025 highlight a pretty major evolution for this platform that's already used by, a huge number of organizations, over 19,000,
Wow.
including the vast majority of the Fortune 500. And what's really interesting is there's this really clear through line in these updates.
Yeah.
It's all about making AI accessible, strengthening data security in a unified way,
Okay.
and then enabling responsive real-time data applications, and making it easier to move from older systems. So we're going to go beyond just features and explore what this means for you.
Okay, so let's get right into it. The big headline for me was Microsoft making their AI assistant Copilot
Right.
and all the AI features in Fabric available across all paid license tiers by the end of April 2025.
Okay.
Starting with F2. Now, previously, you had to be on a much higher, more expensive tier,
Yeah.
like F64 to get access.
Yeah, and what's so interesting about this is that this could really change how organizations use AI for data. It used to be that only the big companies with big budgets
Yeah.
could really use these sophisticated AI tools. And by making Copilot more accessible like this, Microsoft's basically saying AI for data is for everyone.
Yeah.
So this means smaller companies, individual teams, people just starting to explore Fabric can now use AI to ask natural language questions about their data, automatically generate reports and dashboards in Power BI, get help building data flows, summarize trends, and even get help with coding. It really lowers the bar for entry.
I like that it feels like it's leveling the playing field. And thinking about you and your focus on SMEs in the UK.
Yes.
I mean, this could be huge. Businesses often have a lot of data, but they don't have the dedicated data science teams
Exactly.
to unlock its potential. And now they have access to all this AI-powered stuff without a huge upfront investment.
It's true. And it's not just about access. It's about efficiency as well.
Okay.
Imagine a team that can just ask a question and get answers from their data instantly instead of spending hours, manually digging through spreadsheets.
Yeah.
So this could really free up time and resources
Uh-huh.
and, allow them to focus on more important things. Interestingly, though, while this does democratize access, it does also place a greater emphasis on data literacy, especially within smaller teams.
That's interesting.
So we might see a greater demand for training and resources to make sure that people are using these tools
Right.
effectively and responsibly.
That's a really good point. Now, another area that I know is really important for a lot of people, especially in regulated industries like finance, is data security. And it sounds like Microsoft is finally tackling the issue of managing data access across so many different systems. We've got Excel, SQL, Power BI, all these different places where data is stored.
This has been a challenge for so long.
Yeah.
This complexity of managing permissions across different platforms.
Yeah.
It just wastes time. But it also creates some pretty big security risks.
Yeah.
When you don't have that central control, it's so much easier for accidental leaks to happen or for people to violate compliance rules.
Yeah.
And that's where OneLake Security comes in.
Okay.
This new system within Fabric addresses this directly. You define data access rules just once, who can see what tables, rows, folders, columns, even what data is considered sensitive, and then Fabric enforces those rules across all connected services.
So OneLake is like a central command for data access?
Exactly. OneLake's the central metadata hub. And all the security policies you set get translated to each connected service.
So does that mean the days of setting permissions in a dozen different places are over?
Hopefully.
That sounds like a big win for efficiency. But more importantly for security, making sure that sensitive data doesn't end up in the wrong hands.
It is a huge win for security.
And for you working with clients in financial services, the implications for compliance with GDPR
Yeah.
must be significant.
They really are having a centralized auditable system like this. Makes compliance so much easier and reduces the chances of breaches and all the penalties that come with them. And the fact that OneLake Security is in private preview right now, with a public preview coming soon, shows that Microsoft knows how important this is. It's really about building trust in the platform,
Okay.
especially for organizations dealing with really sensitive information.
Okay, moving on to something that sounds like AI taken to a whole new level. Fabric data agents.
Whoa.
These are basically the next evolution of AI skills. And it seems like these are more than just features within Fabric. They can be embedded into your own applications.
What's really interesting here is the way we've moved from, just embedded AI to more proactive, intelligent assistants that are really connected to your data in one link.
Okay.
Fabric data agents let you ask questions using natural language and get relevant answers based on live information. Plus, they can connect to both structured and unstructured data, like tables, databases, documents, PDFs.
So it's not just about numbers anymore.
Exactly.
It can understand all kinds of information. So imagine, a custom chat bot for your finance department that can answer employee questions about budget data.
Right.
That's tailored to your specific needs.
Exactly. And that's a perfect example of how these agents can be used.
That's incredibly powerful. I mean, just imagine an internal support system that can understand all your company's data and documentation to answer employee questions. I mean, that could save HR and IT so much time.
It really could. And the integration with Azure AI Foundry takes this even further. These data agents aren't just limited to Fabric.
Oh, okay.
You can put them into your own applications, websites, internal systems.
Wow.
You can create custom conversational AI experiences powered by your Fabric data models, Azure OpenAI, even external sources like SharePoint.
So it's like building your own AI-powered help desk for any part of your business.
It opens up so many possibilities for embedding intelligent assistants directly into your business processes. And you still get the security and governance features of Fabric. So for tech companies that want to build more intelligent and interactive applications, this could be a game changer.
Absolutely. Now, for those who might be hesitant to move to a platform like Fabric, especially if they're currently using older Microsoft data tools like Azure Synapse Analytics, the migration process can seem like a huge obstacle.
I understand that concern, and that's exactly why. They created the new migration assistant for Azure Synapse to Fabric. This tool, which is in preview right now, is designed to make the transition much smoother. It's more automated. So instead of having to manually rebuild everything and transfer data, the assistant can move things directly from your Synapse data warehouse. And in the future, they're planning to support live connections, which could eliminate manual data export and import altogether.
So if you're on Synapse or thinking of moving to Fabric, this migration assistant really makes it easier.
It really does. It lets organizations modernize their analytics with less risk and less disruption. And they can get rid of those older systems faster, which reduces costs and complexity.
One of the things that I found really exciting is how Fabric is handling data in real time. It's not just about processing data on a schedule anymore. It's reacting instantly as changes happen.
This is such a fundamental shift. It's about being more agile and responsive. The general availability of Fabric and Azure Events lets you subscribe to real-time events coming from different parts of Fabric. But what's really exciting for building dynamic applications are the event stream connectors. These let you bring in real-time data from lots of external sources. Things like MQTT for IoT, weather data feeds, Confluent and Kafka for streaming data. It's a whole new level of connectivity.
So you could have systems that react right away when a new file is uploaded to OneLake or a data pipeline finishes, or even a change in external data like stock prices.
Exactly.
For financial services, the potential for real-time risk monitoring is huge.
It really is. This opens up so many new possibilities. Imagine triggering restock orders the moment inventory gets low, or detecting anomalies from sensors to prevent equipment failures, or doing real-time fraud detection, or even providing up-to-the-minute delivery updates. This event-driven architecture makes Fabric so much more dynamic.
And finally, it seems like Microsoft is really paying attention to developers and IT teams with a new set of tools for automation and efficiency.
That's right. The Fabric Command Line Interface, or CLI, is a big step towards more automation.
Okay.
It lets developers control Fabric using scripts, which is great for automating those repetitive tasks, like setting up workspaces, managing permissions, deploying resources.
So it's all about saving time and reducing errors.
Exactly. And then there are the enhancements to CI/CD, which is all about automating software updates. Making it faster, more reliable, things like variable libraries for managing settings, service principals, support for secure automation, and improved deployment APIs. All of this makes the development process smoother and more secure.
And the concept of parameterized pipelines, where you can build one data pipeline that works with multiple data sources just by changing the connection details. That sounds like a huge time saver.
It is. It really improves scalability and maintainability.
Yeah.
And it makes your data workflows much more efficient.
So all these advancements for developers ultimately benefit the entire organization.
They do. They lead to faster deployments, fewer errors,
Mm.
and developers and IT teams have more time to focus on innovation.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Right.
what are the key takeaways for now? It seems like Microsoft Fabric is becoming more accessible, intelligent, secure, and responsive.
It really is.
Making Copilot more available is bringing AI to everyone. OneLake Security offers a much-needed centralized approach to data governance. Fabric data agents offer all these possibilities for custom AI assistants.
Yeah.
The migration assistant makes it easier to transition from older systems. And the real-time event capabilities allow for more dynamic responses. And those new developer tools make the platform more efficient.
It's a lot to take in.
It is.
But if we think about the changes happening in finance, tech, and SMEs, these Fabric updates are a really important driving force. Greater access to AI, better security, real-time data capabilities. All of this gives organizations a strong foundation for leveraging their data to drive innovation and achieve better outcomes.
Exactly. It makes you think about how all these new AI tools and features could change your current workflows. What about more proactive decision-making, truly personalized customer experiences, and being able to tackle those data challenges that used to seem too complex or resource-intensive? So what areas in your organization could benefit the most from all these advancements in Microsoft Fabric? It's something to think about as you look ahead.